Have you seen the Mike Tyson
He's
video?
like 65.
Yes. You haven't seen? Dude.
No.
Okay. Go to Mike Tyson's page for his most recent video on his Instagram. Get ready for this.
Oh, really?
Get ready for this, because he looks f***ing sensational. Look at this.
Right.
You need volume so you can hear this, too.
Whoa.
I mean, what in the f***, dude?
Oh, my God.
Dude, he looks like old. I'm back.
I'm back.
You know what's really funny?
Oh, my God.
He said on the podcast when he was in here, he said he didn't want to work out again because his ego would get fired up again.
Uh-huh.
And he's actually said that in his post, that my ego had been reignited.
You're good. You're good. You're in the perfect time, you're in the perfect place now. Whereas Mike put everything together. So mentally, physically, we're excited. Excited. If the fight was next out of it, you will be ready.
Okay, so before we even start, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now. Because what I'm about to tell you is the kind of thing that gets whispered about in boxing gyms at 2 a.m. and never makes it onto the main feed. And the fact that it's all happening in plain sight is somehow the most shocking part of all. Because Joe Rogan, a man who has seen literally everything in combat sports, a man who sat ringside while grown adults tried to knock each other unconscious for a living.
But
He hasn't lost everything. He hasn't lost everything.
Yeah.
If you see him hit those pads,
Absolutely.
he has not lost everything.
but he's lost some. But coming from the best,
Yeah.
he's now like maybe just normal, right?
He's still not normal, but he's still like a professional heavyweight boxer. He's still terrifying.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not, but I'm just saying even coming off the best, I still think he wins. Coming off.
Just watched a training video of Mike Tyson and allegedly lost his mind. And not in a polite commentator way, we're talking jaw on the floor, what am I even looking at level of stunned. And here's where it gets interesting. Because Rogan doesn't stun easily, this is the same man who talks casually about elk meat and ancient warriors before breakfast. So when he is shaking his head in disbelief, you need to pay attention. And what exactly did he see in that footage, you ask? Well,
I was minding my business. He challenged me.
You look good. How you feeling physically?
Incredible.
You've been training?
Listen, I was wearing an extra large. It looks like I could wear large now.
Looking good, man. Still looking good.
Mike's just different. I've worked with some very exceptional athletes throughout my life, and they're all remarkable in their own way, but Mike's just a whole different animal.
What are we doing?
We'll do one more set. Get 12 reps, the heaviest we've gone on this. So just focus on perfect form, 12 reps.
233 today. Contact for 230.
12 is all we need.
I'm always at 225, 228. Up.
Lean mean.
Big
Lean
chest.
mean.
1, there we go. 2, 3, 4, good work. 8, 4 more. 9, 10, 2 more, Mike. 11.
allegedly, Tyson moved across that training floor with the kind of explosive speed that made people in the comments genuinely question whether the video was slowed down or edited. And the answer reportedly was no. No filters, no tricks, no Hollywood magic.
The top weight he fought at was 154 pounds. So Floyd, and he's still a smaller guy to this day. So I think you've got some advantages on both sides here. You've got Floyd, who is 11 years younger, but is, again, possibly given up something like 60 or 70 pounds here. And there's a reason we know there are weight classes in boxing. Now, there's already some trash talk here. So let me read you what Mike Tyson told us here. So he said, "This fight is something neither the world nor I ever thought would or could happen. However, boxing has entered a new era of the unpredictable, and this fight is as unpredictable as it gets. I still can't believe Floyd wants to really..."
Just Iron Mike, at his age, moving like the calendar owes him an apology. And this is where it gets worse. Or better, depending on how much you love chaos. Because fans online are now saying this wasn't just a training clip, this was allegedly a message.
Scrap.
It's
So-
not real.
Really? So they're not trying to knock each other out?
No.
Well, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather don't like each other. They have not liked each other forever.
Tyson and Mayweather.
Yes.
But they like
Mike
money.
Tyson and Mayweather don't like each other.
Huh.
If there's a fight that might be real, like where Mike Tyson might say, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out, or I'm going to try.
Two retired guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting the
That's
exhibition.
so
It's just
weird.
money grabs.
It's
just,
so weird,
Yeah, it is weird. It's money grabs. I don't like it, but it's fun. You know, it's something to watch.
I'll hate on it, but I'll tune in.
Yeah, I'll tune in. It's, you know, but it's not really fun.
A very deliberate, very calculated flex aimed at one very specific, very small, very fast person. And we will absolutely get to who that is. But first, let me tell you about the physique, because reportedly Tyson has slimmed down considerably, and his trainer has been making rounds on podcasts saying things like different animal and once-in-a-lifetime conditioning.
And Floyd and Tyson, they have not had a great relationship over the years. They have had some tension. They're both, of course, all-time greats. I mean, look no further than ESPN just naming Floyd Mayweather the #1 boxer of the entire century. So these guys are, again, are Hall of Famers. They're everything that you could ever want in a fighter, but they are not friends, and they are not friendly, and they're going to get in there, and they are going to try and put hands on each other and try and, again, hurt one another inside that boxing ring. Now,
every time boxing come on, you don't bring up Muhammad Ali name. You don't bring up Mike Tyson name. You always bring up Floyd Mayweather name.
Unless we're talking about Floyd. And listen, we all gotta believe we're the greatest of all times, right? We all gotta believe that. But we all know Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time.
If you could have fought any fighter in your life, any weight, any era, who would you have picked that you would have liked to fight the most?
Floyd Mayweather.
While many experts are even calling the matchup unnecessary or madness, Lennox Lewis is supporting Tyson.
Mike Tyson knows how to throw a good punch. He knows how to break you down. So I'm more concerned about the other guy than.
And you have to understand, trainers say nice things about their fighters all the time. That's the job, that's the PR. But the way this trainer said it, allegedly with this look in his eyes, like even he couldn't fully explain what he was witnessing. That detail is what sent the internet absolutely sideways. And now here's the first twist, because Tyson himself has previously gone on record saying that
we need to slow down with certain things. Man, when we did Jake Paul fighting Gervonta Davis, I thought we were probably at the limit of what could be done in boxing that's ridiculous. I swear I thought a guy that fights and walks into a ring at over 200 pounds fighting a guy that walks into the ring at 144 pounds was the limit of the ridiculousness that we could get to in boxing. I thought Jake Paul, Mike Tyson was ridiculous. I thought, honestly, Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather back in the day was about as ridiculous a boxing thing that we could have imagined. And then it went insanely crazy because obviously we see the YouTube fights and celebrity fights and everything else. It's gotten a lot worse. But I thought we were at...
He deliberately stayed away from intense training because it awakened something in him. A competitive ego that he claimed he'd worked spiritually and mentally to suppress. So the fact that he is now not just training, but training at what reports describe as elite explosive levels means something has changed, something or someone flipped a switch inside Mike Tyson and reignited a fire he allegedly tried to put out. And just as you're processing that, break...
140. Floyd Mayweather was fighting at 154, and he was severely undersized at 154. Floyd Mayweather was a guy that fought in the 130s to start his career, and then fought up as high as 160 maybe. Floyd Mayweather was a small guy. He's now going to fight Mike Tyson, who is the heavyweight champion in the world. I respect these two men so great a degree that it's hard for me to almost make negative statements about them. But I think that our job as talking heads is to tell you the truth, regardless of how much you admire someone or the applause and adulation you have for them. You got to tell them the truth. I don't get this. I don't get this.
Because online speculation is now pointing to the idea that this isn't just about fitness or legacy or even money. Fans are saying this is personal, deeply personal. And the name attached to that personal motivation
Again, we talk about Mike and his past financial issues. I hope that that's not the same thing going on with him now, even though who knows how this man spends his money. He made a shit ton of money to fight Jake Paul, and good for him. His name value carried that fight, and it did a crazy number. I'm sure he'll make a crazy number here, but Floyd Mayweather is the one that seems like he needs the money more right now. Our guy, Andreas Hale, wrote a story that is kind of went somewhat viral. That's crazy, the laugh faces. Although Floyd Mayweather Jr. made hundreds of millions of dollars from his professional boxing career and topped the Forbes list as the highest paid athlete from 2012 to 2014, the boxer is said to have been shortchanged and filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Showtime. The lawsuit filed Tuesday, and obtained by ESPN seeks to recover hundreds of millions of dollars, misappropriated funds, and damages resulting from a long-running and elaborate scheme of financial fraud, breaches in fiduciary duty, and conspiracy orchestrated by Floyd J. Mayweather's former manager and advisor, Al.
Is none other than Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yes, that Floyd Mayweather. And now suddenly everything about that training footage looks different, doesn't it? Because you don't train with that kind of intensity for an exhibition. You train like that when something inside you refuses to let you lose. And this is where the story starts to get genuinely complicated.
It wasn't the fight. It wasn't watching Mike barely be able to move and lose all explosivity and do exactly what I thought he would do at 58 years old. So that should have been the final straw for Mike Tyson. That should have been the one that goes, you know what? This is not working out. He had apparently damn near died of an ulcer or something like that in training for the Jake Paul fight. He will be 60 years old by the time.
So it's signed and it's happening. I've been doing this for 30 years and there hasn't been a single fighter that can tarnish my legacy. This is Floyd now, said Floyd Mayweather. You already know that if I am going to do something, it's going to be big and it's going to be legendary. I'm the best in the business of boxing. This exhibition will give the fans what they want. Now, that's what it is. It's an exhibition, but Floyd is unblemished. He has been perfect. 50 up, 50 down. But it's been some years since Floyd last fought. Of course, he last fought professionally against Conor McGregor in 2017. He has had some exhibition fights since, but he's fought Logan Paul. He's fought some guys that kick.
Because on paper, allegedly, this fight is being positioned as an exhibition match. A spectacle, a money-generating super event for two legends who have both already proven everything they needed to prove. But the footage, the body language, the way Tyson's head movement reportedly snapped back into that terrifyingly sharp rhythm from his prime.
I want to get him. So to me, it's one of those you want to watch between your eyes. But when I heard, I thought, wow, really? This is an argument that's going to be held out in public.
How's this going to work, though? Because there's such a big disparity in size. As you said, there's going to be a huge difference in speed as well. Are there going to have to be some special rules in place for this fight?
Well, if there are rules, nobody's going to stick to them. I don't believe in a million years Floyd Mayweather is going to stick to any script that's been written in regards to this exhibition. And I don't think Mike will either. I don't think, if there's anything scripted, allegedly, they said with Mike and Jake Paul, I don't think whatever's written down, there's going to be anybody sticking to the rules, because this is beyond what we see on TV. This is beyond this is personal. These two guys worked together previously and still do.
None of that reads like a man who got the exhibition memo. And Joe Rogan reportedly said as much, suggesting that Tyson looks, quote, sensational, and that the raw intensity on display doesn't look like a man going through the motions for a paycheck. It looks like a man who wants to win. And now here's where we need to talk about Floyd, because this matchup, and I cannot stress this enough, is genuinely one of the most structurally bizarre sporting propositions allegedly ever assembled. Tyson is a natural heavyweight, built like a structure, reportedly still physically powerful and intimidating in ways that defy logic given his age.
Even though I think when it comes to a fan's favourite, I'm quite sure most of the fans would love to see Mike Tyson put Floyd in his place. And that's probably what will be the attraction as well. But you've got to remember, Mike Tyson's 59 years old. You've got to remember, Floyd Mayweather is still hitting the bag in the gym. He's still moving around, even though he's 48 years old. So you've got to remember that. So you're going to buy into it, no matter how disgusting you think this fight is, no matter what complaints you have about it, you're going to buy into it because you're going to see an argument played out in real life, real time.
Yeah, but can you understand, though, why a lot of fight fans don't want to see this? They don't want to see two guys who are past their best, two great champions, go out and fight each other and maybe tarnish their career in some way.
Completely. But you've got to remember, these guys are individuals, their fathers, their brothers, or whatever, and they still want to earn a massive chunk of money. Where's Mike Tyson? Whatever.
And Mayweather is smaller, faster, younger in comparison, technically precise in ways that are almost inhuman. And the question everyone from Rogan to boxing analysts to random people in grocery store parking lots is allegedly asking is, how does this fight even work? Like structurally, mechanically, physically? How do you put these two people in the same ring and call it competitive?
Unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Sean?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in the ring situation. And so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened. And then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than this.
Yeah, you're not kidding, right? Obviously we watched Mike Sean in November against Jake Paul. I think clearly those guys like each other. Floyd and Mike, not so much. Obviously there's been some tension there over the years. Do you think they go in there despite the fact that this is an exhibition fight? I mean, do they go in there and do they both try and take each other out?
I don't know what that fight looks like. And that kind of was my biggest apprehension with coming on with you guys today. It was like, how do you analyze what a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when...
And the answer, based on online speculation and fan debate, seems to be that you don't, not really, not in a traditional sporting sense. Because what this allegedly is the greatest spectacle ever assembled, a collision of mythology, a cash machine disguised as a boxing match. And the financial motivations being discussed online are staggering. We're talking about a revenue-generating event of historic proportions, allegedly. And here's the twist nobody saw.
We've ever known before that the WWE is fake. It's kind of like acceptable. But it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring, It wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that. I mean, I guess I'll have to do what I did once before with Mike and Jake. And I'm gonna go on record for saying this doesn't happen.
Falls apart sometime before.
This doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. I don't know how you can make this one make sense.
And to your point, they may have it, but if they have it, they haven't said it yet. There's no date for the fight, no location that's been announced. So,
right.
Yeah. Is it possible to break down?
Coming. Because just when you think this is purely a money grab, being dressed up in boxing gloves, reports and fan speculation start surfacing about real, genuine, allegedly documented tension between Tyson and Mayweather. Not staged tension, not promotional beef for ticket sales, actual personal friction between these two men that stretches back years. And suddenly the exhibition label starts to feel less like a description and more like a disclaimer. Because when there's real tension, when there's history, when there's ego and pride and the kind of competitive fire that Joe Rogan allegedly saw blazing in that training footage, exhibitions have a funny way of becoming something else entirely. And this is where I need you to really pay attention. Because the critics, and there are many, are focusing on age, on health risks, on the alleged mismatch in size and style, calling it irresponsible, calling it spectacle over sport. But what they're allegedly missing, what the training footage suggests, is that Tyson is not operating like a man who should be written off. He reportedly still functions at a professional heavyweight level, still carries power that would make any fighter on the planet recalibrate. And Mayweather, for all his speed and technical brilliance, has never in his career faced anything that moves and hits like Mike Tyson, allegedly still can. And just as you think you've got the whole picture figured out, here comes the final twist. And this one is going to reframe everything. Because allegedly, and fans online are absolutely losing it over this theory, the training footage that stunned Joe Rogan wasn't released. Accidentally, sources close to the situation allegedly suggest it was timed, strategic, designed to land at a specific moment in the promotional cycle to send a very specific psychological message to a very specific opponent. which means that everything you just watched, every jaw-dropping movement, every explosive combination, every "is he really still this good" moment may have been as carefully choreographed as any fight Mayweather ever allegedly controlled from behind his guard. Meaning the real match allegedly started long before anyone laces up their gloves. It started the moment that video hit the internet, and Joe Rogan's reaction became the most talked about clip in combat sports. And now I need to ask you something that I genuinely don't have the answer to. If the greatest tactician in boxing history is about to step into the ring with a man whose trainer calls him a different animal, and whose training footage is allegedly making seasoned combat veterans question reality, who is actually the most dangerous person in that building?